Hello, and welcome to my rough draft video. That's what I'm calling it because I'm not sure if I'm going to release this, but it's been almost like a month since my last upload. And in my last video, I kind of take these month hiatus, mostly because I'm working on my other channel. But this channel is important to me, despite how little work I do on this. So I want to get back to it. And there's a topic that I wanted to tackle and I wanted to do a lot better. Like I written down almost like an essay, and I don't have that in front of me right now, but that's what this is for, is getting my ideas out there, and then I'll probably do a follow video to clear things up. All right, so redemption arcs in media. So I was going to limit this to anime, but it's not just in anime, although it's very prominent in anime. And I know a lot of people don't like redemption arcs. So that is where we, again, I would, if I do this again, I will make a better definition. But typically, you have a character who most of the time starts off bad. They're the bad guy or the villain of the story. And somehow, maybe they're humbled in some way, maybe they lose. And we are shown some sort of backstory to get us to empathize with the character, and the character will change. And then that's their redemption arc where they change from what they were doing. And it's very prominent that we feel empathy for that person. That's usually the ingredients that are found in redemption arcs. And I personally love them. Now, if I had to say, like, okay, why do I like redemption arcs so much? And is it actually a good thing for characters to be redeemed? And I've listened to criticism basically that the what some people have against is not redemption arcs in general, but that they could be overly done, and that every character doesn't need a redemption arc. Sometimes I might be getting the wording wrong, but sometimes people just want the bad guy just to stay the bad guy, black and white, and not to be feel forced to have sympathy for a character, just get theirs and move on. So when I think redemption, of course, I'm thinking like theology. I'm thinking more. So for those who don't know, I'm a Christian, and so when I think redemption, I'm thinking more in a almost in a biblical sense of to buy back from and to change my like repentance. That is not necessarily the case for all of redemption arcs. It's not like one for one. It does have this showcase of someone being able to change their ways, and I do like the empathy part, just because I think if we realize that we're more alike than we are different, and not to be as judgmental, doesn't mean that you don't judge right. And it's not saying no difference between right or wrong, but it's not saying there's not a clear right or wrong, but that there is a writing someone off. Like that's why I like redemption arcs. But I can see an argument for being overly done. And I think that one of the reasons that they're overly done, if that is the case, that they're overly done, is kind of like big studios or maybe writers or whoever higher up see how successful they are and want to capitalize on that. And so they don't do it well. You don't have the character have a real change, or you make very light of the evil or bad that they've done. So it becomes cheap. And theologically, we say cheap grace is it doesn't, the what they did doesn't carry much weight. And it depends on the type of show or movie that is, because where that person, the little consequences that that person may face. If I'm thinking about the last Avatar, the last Airbender, and my favorite character in on that show is Zuko. Just his whole storyline, I think, was like perfect. You start off classic villain, then we're given backstory, and then when you think he's going to turn good or just on the other side of things, I believe it is in book 3, and or is it the end of book 2? I think it's the end of book 2, and he doubles down and goes double down into the wrong path again. And so when he's in the next chapter, when he does kind of come back from that, I think there was a very good redemption arc where we have empathy for the character. He still faces consequences for his actions. Overall, I think that was done right. But in the same, not the same series, not the same show, but in the, I think it's, I don't know if it's in Korra, storyline. And I can't remember, I think this may be one of the last stories to which there was a character, Kuvera, if I remember that right. And I thought that redemption arc was non-existent, and it seemed sloppy, like they were just trying to at the end at her defeat. Yeah, maybe if I have a clip, I'll play it.
Why would you save my life after everything I did to you?
I guess I see a lot of myself in you now.
You don't understand anything about me.
I do. Sue told me how she took you in when you were younger. It must have been so hard being an orphan.
Don't pretend you know what it felt like. The Avatar is adored by millions. I was cast aside by my own parents like I meant nothing to them. How could I just stand by and watch the same thing happen to my nation when it needed someone to guide it?
But basically, I thought it was terrible. Like, it felt like they were trying, and I won't get into, I'm not really trying to bag on the whole series of Korra, but I brought those two up because I thought that was still in the same world, and I thought one was done right and one was just half-hearted at best. And when I think about, do we need characters without redemption arc? I can see that. Like, if I'm thinking about a show such as Demon Slayer, where you have a lot of the demons that are Tanjiro does have empathy for a lot of them. And I want to say that they basically get redeemed, but there is that empathy there. And I'm saying this after the few months coming off the latest movie. The one character that we don't see any kind of empathy for is the main bad guy, Muzan. Maybe they did it before. He's not dead yet. But that's, I don't want to say one dimensional, but a character that we're shown has no empathy, no regrets. Very bad guy, and also entertaining in that way. So I guess the one dimensional villain, morally wise, does not have to be boring. And I can see how some people would say that if you did add that layer, that humanness, that it would ruin that character. I don't agree with that. Humanizing the character it doesn't make that character good. It makes them human, which is why I like the empathy part of it, because it relates us to that character. A lot of people have this assumption if you humanize a character, that you make that character good. What it also says is you, the human, are not that good. It kind of does it both. It gets us out of more of a self-righteousness kind of feel, that you, the viewer, thinking you are good and this person is evil. And if that person comes closer to you, then you think that makes them good. It also reveals how alike you are to the evil character, which one of the reasons why I like that type of writing. So I'm gonna pause right here. Got things to do, and I'm gonna keep coming back to this because it's a topic that I read.